All right, AP Bio, since I'm not going to be there on Thursday, I'm going to go over the lab or activity I want you to do in class. It's called anaerobic respiration yeast. You can read the introduction on your own. There's the objective. You're going to investigate the process of fermentation. You're going to analyze some data. So hopefully you will fill out this explanation tool a little bit better than you did last time. So your question, evidence, science ideas, your claim, and then on the back, your actual explanation. Hopefully you use data. You better use data if you want any points. Materials, you're going to have 4 of these larger test tubes. You're going to have 4 of these smaller test tubes. I do have the yeast solution. Hopefully this is a new batch, and I like the stuff that we used in our enzyme lab that failed horribly. I've got glucose here, some distilled water, NutraSweet, artificial sweetener, sativia, and then some sucrose. So I would like that you at least run a positive and a negative control. Your positive control being the glucose, your negative control being the distilled water. I've got the black marking pens. Everything else is in there to kind of help you with the process. So there's the materials. Procedure, you're going to be making respometers. You'll take your test tubes and you're just going to number them 1 through 4, label them glucose, sucrose, distilled water, or you can do all 5. You're going to take this 4, make sure you number them also. They correspond. What you're going to do, you're going to measure up from the bottom of the small test tube to a distance of about 5 centimeters. So you're going to have a ruler. I'm going to do this real quick. 5 centimeters. So I'm going to kind of mark on it. So about 5 centimeters. I don't know if you can see that mark on there, but that's 5 centimeters. And then I'm going to fill up to 5 centimeters with my solution. So for example, I'm just going to, I'm not going to tell you which solution it is. So put that in. Got my medicine cup. It's going to probably make a mess. So almost, yeah, a little too much. It might be easier just to also fill up the medicine cups up to 5 centimeters or milliliters. Anyways, that didn't make any sense. Ignore what I just said about filling the cup up to 5 centimeters. All right, 5 centimeters of my solution. You're going to fill them up. You can do that test tube. I don't care what you do on that chart where it says test tube 1 glucose sucrose. Just make sure you know which one is which. Then you're going to finish off the rest of the test tube with your yeast solution. What I mean by finish off, I'm going to pour some, set this down real quick. I'm going to pour some of my yeast solution in here. It's been warmed up. And what I mean by finish off, you're going to top it off. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to try to stay out of the way. My fat fingers are in the way. So I filled it up to the top. All right, they'll start to mix, and then I'm going to add a little bit more. It may overflow. I just topped it off, so I've filled it up way beyond what I'm supposed to, because you want to make sure that you don't want a lot of air in there. And then what's going to happen is, taking my big test tube, putting it over the small one. And what may happen is, I'm going to take my pencil, push that all the way up, and then quickly invert it. So as you can see, I've got the small test tube within the large test tube, and I do have a little bit of an air bubble on top. And again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Now, quickly invert it. Make sure you keep the small test tube pushed. A small air bubble may be seen. I've done this several times. It's going to be tough to get rid of that small air bubble. If the air bubble is large, repeat until no bubble or very small ones observed. That's a pretty small air bubble. And what you can kind of do with your black pen, it's kind of mark. This is not going to be exact, guys, but kind of mark where that air bubble. See how that works on there? I've yet to find anybody that can get it in there without the air. And if you can, you've proved me wrong or supported me being wrong. You're going to do that with all 4 or 5 test tubes, whatever you want to do. So it's marked. I'm going to make this test tube 1. I'm not doing good science here by not labeling my samples. Then what you're going to do that. We're through number 8, small air bubble, 9. Repeat 4 through 6. With a small plastic ruler, measure the height of airspace on the bottom of each of the small test tubes. That might be kind of tough to do. That's why I said mark it. Let's see. I should probably use the right side. I'm going to say that's about 0.9. centimeter, or if you want to go to millimeters, I don't care. Record your data. That's an alright data table there. It's in millimeters, so I put 9 millimeters. You can make up your own. I really don't care. It's up to you. What you're going to do then, there's going to be a test tube rack, or I think we may do the beakers. Regardless, I've got an incubator next to the lockers where the skeletons are, set at about 37 degrees Celsius. You're going to place your test tubes in your respometers in these test tube racks, and you're going to place them in the incubator. And it says let them sit for 15 minutes, which is fine. I want you to check it every 10 minutes for whatever. Hopefully you can get a half hour's worth in, or 40 minutes. So every 10 minutes, I want you to check your respometer and make a measurement from this line down to see how much gas is produced. So it says at number 13, at the end of 15 minutes, check. Hopefully at the end of 30 or 40, depending what time it is. And it says, if it is increasing rapidly in size, stop the incubation, let it go. We'll see what happens. Then you fill out the data chart, initial height, final height, difference, and your conclusion. Now, this stuff will help you write your explanation. So there's the questions and conclusions. Graph your data. There's a graph sheet on there. Tells you what kind of graph to make. That's fine. Title it, gas production. I'm not going to worry about number 2. I don't care if you complete the following table. I would like you to do questions 3, 4, 5, 6, and then also incorporate all that into your explanation tool. Again, I'm going to be most critical on your explanation tool, and I will probably go through what I want you to do there in a little bit. So that should be pretty simple. That should take you the whole period on Thursday. If not, you've got other work you can work on. So hopefully I've cut that down into about 7 minutes. Watch it again if you need to, but this is your respometer. So good luck.